Hey Joan, thanks for getting these in. These look great. It was funny because when I downloaded your PDFs, I didn't really pay attention to what opened first. So I saw this one first, and I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. There's no change in the lighting. And then I read your write-up, and it was very clear that that was extra. These are fantastic, by the way. And, you know, do as much fun stuff like this as you can, because you might end up finding that you get some really good portfolio work. Because we work a little bit better when we're relaxed. We're more creative when we're relaxed, and we're a lot more creative when we're just wasting time, when we're not actually working in a focused way. So, at least I am. So, there you go. This is gorgeous. Love the tattoo work. My God. One of my students in my ground class has this incredible tattoo that takes up her whole leg of some, it's like basically a narration of some bit of Greek mythology. It was amazing. I just noticed it yesterday. I was like, wow. I have no tattoos myself, but I really like them on other people. So, and yeah, and I was shocked. I saw the way that you're using your meter here before I read your write-up, and I'm like, what is she doing? But you're in reflective mode, so that makes sense too. Okay. Your compositions are great. Your model is a fantastic poser. I don't know how much you ended up putting her in these positions or she was able to do it by herself, but it worked out really well. And if you were the one that was controlling all of her movement and posing her, get back in here and tell us how you did it, please. Okay, and here's your equipment setup for, I'm assuming, shoot 1. So you're shooting through umbrella with your key light on camera left, and you've got passive fill on camera right. Is this your first image? Yeah. And then here's image number 2's equipment setup. You have 2 active lights, but your key light is still on camera right. Your fill is camera left, but it is an active, it is not passive. And there we go, that makes sense. Yep. They are very different. They are very thoughtful. I don't have a whole lot of feedback. This one could have more exposure, but then I kind of like it dark too, because we sort of get her lost in here. I guess the only suggestion that I would add on this one, if I can go to the equipment shot, is if you have an additional light. So one thing that you could have done was sneak it up here behind your backdrop, and so you would have like really far away basically, so you'd have a bit of a hair light over there that would act as a hair light or a rim. Wouldn't that be lovely? So we would have some separation between her and the background right there. That would be really lovely. That would be my only feedback. And you know, I noticed in some feedback that you gave to one of your peers that I think it was you were really interested in how much light is reflected in your model's eyes. So here you have a lot of light reflected into your model's eyes, of course, because you're using 2 lights, 2 active lights, one is key, one is fill, and it's doing a great job illuminating her entirely, and it's very flattering. And then here, you know, her eye, you know, it's a little bit more dramatic, and I think her eyes actually get a little bit dark. So something that you can do to resolve this situation is you can, on a stand, just place a bit of bounce, kind of coming, so you have to make sure that it's at an angle so that it's going to receive the light. When I say bounce, I meant reflector, sorry, like actually something really reflective. It's going to receive the light that's shooting from here, and it's going to get back into her eyes. And, you know, passively, it has to be passive so that it's not too much. But you can imagine just a little bit more illumination right here would help bring up those eyes a lot. Another way that you can resolve that situation is to just have her, because you have this at such a tight crop, right? You can have her down here outside of camera, hold a little bit of bounce kind of away from her, but right back up into her eyes. And you know, if there is light hitting it from the lights that you're shooting with, it should get back up into her eyes. It's not as effective with continuous light. With strobe, you'd find, you know, you'd have a really dynamic difference between images with or without that. So that would be my only feedback, really, is think about rim or hair lights. And think a little bit more about creative ways that you can sneak targeted light back into the eyes. Even, you know, shooting through a bit of a snoot, you know, kind of like a spotlight. It can work if it's not too dramatic, you know. But your submission is great. Thank you so much. Thanks for the detailed write-up and the equipment shots and your shooting information here on your contact sheets. It's just absolutely perfect. Really, it looks like you really worked hard on this. You did a really nice job. And you seem very comfortable with your model and your lights, so that's great. And like I said, if you're the one posing her, get back in here and give us tips on how to do that, because it's amazing. And thank you also for the bonus material. It was very fun. And do more of that. Not everybody can pull off this kind of dress. That's so cool. All right. Thank you so much, Joan. Really a pleasure to look at this.